Hello and welcome back to One Obsession at a Time. I am your host, Anastasia Lara, and this is the place where I discuss my current obsessions. Now, if you've been with me for a little while, I appreciate you so much. I was doing ADF, alternate day fasting, and it was my major obsession, probably from about October until very, very recently, actually. And honestly, it has taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot about being hungry, about developing discipline, about food noise and how I manage that, and even just how I work when I go all in on something. There is a reason why this podcast exists, and that is because I do tend to hone in on mini obsessions and run away with them and get absorbed by them. But actually, it's a wonderful way to explore something quite deeply. And I did think that I find out so much great information about these things that it's awesome to share, and then it's awesome to share my findings as well. So yes, I was doing alternate day fasting, and then something did shift for me, and that happened in April. And it wasn't working sort of way, but it was more in a way of I got what I needed from it, and forcing myself just to stay there and be consistent was actually becoming very difficult for me. So I'm not here to be the expert who's mastered that one thing. I like to explore things, live them, share that information with you. And yeah, so alternate day fasting was a phase, and now I am slightly in a different one. And I think this next one is going to be just as interesting for you in a different way. So while alternate day fasting was fantastic for me in identifying that I need to work on my discipline and that I need to have more structure around how I eat, some of it was feeling very difficult. Like the thought of trying to do these 36-hour fasts, which I found the most effective for me, in this phase of life. I've got 3 children. They go to school. I cook all of the family meals. I am trying to run a business. And sometimes I just found, I'm trying to do alternate day fasting where when I'm doing a 36-hour fast, my mental faculties just aren't all there. And I need to be able to switch that on for work. I need to be able to have the energy to support my family. I found it really quite difficult in that sense and a little bit isolating. So I think it's okay to say to yourself that you are going to put yourself first. But when that comes a little bit of a cost of connection with the people around you, it may not be the right path. Anyway, I just found I'd run out of the motivation to keep going. And it was my husband who actually said to me, I don't know if this is working for you anymore. I don't think you're getting the weight loss results that you want out of it. And he mentioned a few different phases that I have been through, or different obsessions. So one of those was a very long time ago. I did Michelle Bridges, I think, what do they call it? 12-week body transformation challenge, or 12 WBT, and that was quite intense. I did that before I had my 2 boys, and I was about 13 years younger than I am now. I'm 46, and so I did that one when I was 33, I think, and it was 1,200 calories a day, and what equated to about 1.5 hours in the gym every day, including your warm-ups and your cool-downs, plus a mega workout on the weekend of 2 hours. And I think it was 1 cheat meal, but your cheat meal was only up to 600 calories or something like that. So it was very, very difficult, and I had to be very disciplined, but I did get results. So my husband mentioned that, and I'm not prepared to go back and do that. I'm actually not prepared to count calories. That is not me. The other thing that he reminded me of was when I did a month of the Whole30, which is an elimination diet, and you actually cut out pretty much all of the nasties out of your diet. You cut out sugar, you cut out alcohol, you cut out lots of processed foods that include flours, pasta, rice, legumes, so anything that can sort of be inflammatory. Interestingly, it does keep eggs, but that is a bit of a lifesaver, to be honest. So he said to me, the other time you had your best body was when you were doing the Whole30. And I had also just finished reading Ultra Processed People. I don't know if you've read that book. It's a really good deep dive into ultra processed foods, which are basically, the things that you buy in packets and a lot of the time in like meals in a tin, for example. And I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to do a round of the Whole30. And so that's what I'm doing. It's 30 days of what can I eat? So I eat all meats, all fish, chicken, eggs, all vegetables, all fruit, and that includes some dried fruit as well. So, and it's not restrictive in that way. You eat until you are satisfied. You are not meant to have snacks, but in the first 2 weeks, you are definitely allowed to eat until you are satiated. And so I've been doing that now for 14 days. It is feeling really good, and it's not just because I know that it's an anti-inflammatory diet as well. It really reduces inflammation in the body. And if you've listened to some of my previous episodes, I am hoping to stop things like pins and needles in my hands, and also some sleep apnea that I think I'm having. And it's not necessarily about solving a problem. It's a discovery of what food works for you. So at the end of the 30 days, you have a reintroduction period. So for, I think it's a week or 2, you reintroduce different food. It might be you reintroduce dairy, you reintroduce grains. Anyway, my point being, this is what I am doing now. And another wonderful thing that I like about the Whole30, which is the same as alternate day fasting, is I've been able to find all of the information for free online. The very first round of Whole30 that I completed way back in 2018, I found all of the guidelines on Pinterest on a single pin, and I just took a screenshot of that and I followed it for 30 days, and I lost 10 kilograms in 30 days. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, I am older now. I might not have that same result, but I know that even if I don't have as much weight loss, or if the weight loss isn't as quick, I'm still going to have all of the benefits of not eating ultra-processed foods, of not drinking alcohol, of not eating sugar and feeding that sugar monster, which is just such a horrible part of my diet problems, I suppose. How strict have I been? I've been fairly strict. And I have not really deviated, which has been fantastic. The closest I've come is a mayonnaise, because sauces have a lot of sugar in them, and a lot of additives. And the closest I've come to maybe cheating is not being really sure if a mayonnaise was totally compliant, and just choosing to have it anyway. And I decided to do that because I want this to be sustainable. And when I finish this, am I going to feel so restricted that I move into go the other way and eat all of the sauces and all of the sugary things? I don't want that to happen. So I want to stay on the straight and narrow as possible, but I'm not going to beat myself over something that may or may not be compliant. So far, 14 days, what have I noticed? Not a lot, to be honest. Night before last, I was awake in the middle of the night, and I did notice that my breathing felt easier and clearer. And so that might have something to do with dairy, not having dairy. But we shall find out. So I have another 16 days to go. I do recommend this diet. I do recommend it. If you are addicted to sugar, if you have a lot of food noise, because honestly, the thought of having eggs and salad and, maybe some roast chicken, and it can get a bit repetitive, which means that you actually don't go searching for food because it's not always going to be that appealing. And I think that's a really positive thing. They talk about decentralizing men. I'm going to decentralize food and just see how I go. So making food as boring and uninteresting as possible has helped, and it's sort of, par for the course here. You're not going to get huge dopamine hits from 4 eggs. You're just not. So yeah, that is where I am for the next 15 days. That's what I'm going to do. And gosh, I hope that that has been useful for you. I mean, you can choose to keep going with alternate day fasting. There are so many benefits to that. And when I leaned into that, it really did work for me. But I find that I lose interest in things. I don't stay obsessed forever. I stay until I've learned what I came for. And so what I've learned is that I still need to lose weight. I still have some of these health problems. I'm going to try something new, or something old has become something new again. And it has been successful. Like I said, my husband suggested this. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. I hope it's been interesting for you. Let me know what you think about this change up, and let me know in the comments, have you ever done Whole30 before? How are you going on your ADF journey? What are you doing at the moment that is successful? You can come over and comment on my Instagram if you like, or you can leave comments below on this episode. If this is interesting for some of your friends, please share this episode. Please like and subscribe. That would really help me to reach more people with my current obsession. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, I've just re-listened to this episode. 2 things. First thing, if you want to listen to me a little bit quicker, you can 1.25 times the speed of these episodes in your podcast provider, because I know that sometimes you can hear me thinking. So if you want to fast forward through that, that is fine. The other thing, I did say I lost 10 kilograms. I didn't lose 10 kilograms. I lost 5 kilograms, which in my brain, I was thinking was thereabouts 10 pounds. So hence why I said 10. But I did actually lose 5 kilograms, which I'm only 5'2", so that actually was quite a lot of weight for me. And by the end of that, I kept going, and I felt amazing. So hence why I'm doing it again. So thank you for following my journey, and until next time, you do you, boo.